But let's distract. Let's have all of these people be the source and the root of our problems, not the billionaires who don't pay their taxes. Donald Trump is right now trying to stave off the damaging effects of a couple of different policies. Major hallmark policies of this second term. One is the mass deportation, Nazi-like effort to ethnically cleanse the United States. And the other is the issue with his tariffs and the economy damaging effects there. And these two are actually connected. Right now, there's an effort to dial back the damage that will be done to the economy, allowing migrant workers to remain on farms. Donald Trump has talked about farmer ownership of migrants doing the work. We've heard Brooke Rollins, both of these clips I'm going to play a little later, the agriculture secretary, say that, look, the way that we deal with the problem with removing migrants is let's just put all the people, the poor people, the sick people, the old people on Medicaid. Let's have them get out there in the fields. And now there's a new take. The labor secretary was just on Fox News just a couple of hours ago talking about these jobs that Americans don't want. She was teed up by the anchor who says, look, I think there's a lot of Americans who are out there who will do the jobs that these migrants will do. That this narrative that that Americans don't want these jobs is just false. What's interesting about this is when people like me, liberals, people on the left, when they talk about these people or these jobs, we're talking about agriculture work. We're talking about work, day laborer jobs, jobs that typically Americans don't want. But on screen, while they're talking about this, they're showing high-skilled, high-paid automotive work. Union jobs is what they're showing on screen while talking about agriculture work. Seasonal agriculture work. Migrant work. Watch this from the labor secretary. Really, they're from all angles, they're trying to distract you from the damage that Donald Trump, uninvited, has caused in the American economy and just chaos in general for the American public.
What happened to the threat from the left that American citizens won't do the jobs that illegal immigrants are willing to do? Because when I look at these numbers, I think, nope, the American citizen is willing to do those jobs.
Well, we see it in the numbers. Americans are willing to do the job. That's what we're out there to do. What we have to give them is the opportunity to have those jobs, that they can be skilled, upskilled, reskilled. We're moving around the country. 1 million new apprentices is my goal for the president. We are well on our way. We've increased that by over 170,000+ new apprentices since he took office, and we'll continue and we'll reach that 1 million goal for the American businesses so they have the workforce that they need. And again, those decisions are going to be on behalf of the American men and women of this country who built this country.
Don't you love millionaires sitting around in their studios talking about this issue? There's just something completely wild and out of touch about it. That we, Americans, are willing to do the job. We have to give them, what we have to give them is the opportunity. I'm sure there are millions upon millions upon millions of Americans clamoring to do the thankless job that migrants come here to do, while being abused by farmers, by employers, underpaid, overworked. I'm sure there's all kinds of Americans who are ready for that. And then you'll remember yesterday I talked about Donald Trump and his effort to bring slavery back, make America great again, right? Using migrant labor while giving this certain aspect of the economy. Look, if we were truly being invaded, there would be no carve-outs for farmers. There would be no carve-outs for the hospitality industry. If Americans are clamoring for these jobs, why would we need this new form of slavery that Donald Trump talked about while touring one of his concentration camps just the other day?
President, you've talked recently about the idea of finding finding some way to get farm workforce and service sector workforce. And I think you've discussed somehow a program of people leaving on a sponsorship and coming right back. Can you give us a little more detail about that and why, in the view of some hardliners, it's not amnesty?
Take care of our farmers and hotel workers and various other people, and we're working on it right now, and Ron's going to be involved, and you're involved already. So we have a case, a lot of cases where ICE will go into a farm, and these are guys working there for 10, 15 years, no problem. The farmers know them. We're going to put, it's called farmer responsibility or owner responsibility, where they're going to be largely responsible for these people. And they know these people. They've worked on the farms for 15 years, and all of a sudden so I have a great, Ron does, Christy does, we have a great feeling for the farmer and for others in the same position. And we're going to give them responsibility for people. And we're going to have a system of signing them up so they don't have to go. They can be here legally. They can pay taxes and everything else. They're not getting citizenship, but they get other things. And the farmers need them to do the work. Without those people, you're not going to be able to run your farm.
And if Americans also, by the way, were clamoring for these jobs that migrants do, why would we need to put our sick, our poor, our elderly to work, forcing them onto the job roles in order to justify or earn their health care?
But I can't underscore enough, there will be no amnesty. The mass deportations continue, but in a strategic way, and we move the workforce towards automation and 100% American participation, which again, with 34 million people, able-bodied adults on Medicaid, we should be able to do that fairly quickly. Thank you.
It's all cruelty. It's all a joke. All of this is just a distraction for you not to think about what the actual cause is here, what the actual motivation of the Trump administration is, which is to enrich people who are already wild beyond their dreams wealthy. They want to make the massive pile of money that these billionaires rest upon even bigger. And that's the problem. That's the cause here. It's not migrants who are taking away American jobs. It's not lazy people on Medicaid who are not working, who are making the economy worse. It is Donald Trump through his tariff policy and his mass deportation effort to ethnically cleanse the United States. That's what the blame is. That's where the problem lies. Not in hardworking people who come here for a better life, or people who have worked their entire lives and maybe didn't save enough or whatever, and are now in nursing homes and not in a position to be working in the fields. But let's distract. Let's have all of these people be the source and the root of our problems, not the billionaires who don't pay their taxes. Anyway, I invite you to this conversation. You can comment below. You can also call the voicemail line, 714-576-4054. And of course, as always, you can email me daily at dollemore.com. Please consider becoming a channel member and supporting independent media. You can click the join button below for $2 a month. Do just that. Become a channel member. You can also go to patreon.com/IDoubtItPodcast. All those are great ways to help support this work, help produce these videos, and help reach the millions of people that we do on a monthly basis. I love and appreciate you very much. I'll see you next time. As always, be genuine and take care of one another.